This is an exterior color presentation for the Hidden Bay Condominium. My name is Amanda Hart. I'm an architectural color consultant. If you want to learn more about me, you can visit me at amandahart.com. You can also find me on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. A special thank you to my point of contact, Marcelle Sussman-Fischler. She made herself available to me 24/7, as well as communicating countless emails back and forth. It was a pleasure to work with her. A great communicator, writer, and a savvy real estate expert. I want to mention also Donna Mayers, who accompanied Marcelle on my visit, Chris Pyrek, who originally hired me for Your Neighbor's Spa and Yacht Club, Steve Simon, who literally climbed rooftops to get paint samples for me, Ilgim Hosea, who delivered them, and John Rowland, the president. All volunteered their time to meet with me and or discuss this project. Today we're discussing an intro to Hidden Bay, existing paint colors, 10 paint pattern improvements, color options, white and gray, and anything but pink alternatives. Let's begin by acknowledging and complimenting the Hidden Bay property. What an outstanding, gorgeous community. For anyone watching this presentation who's unfamiliar with the Hidden Bay Condominium of Aventura, they are 3 tall skyscraper buildings connected together, located directly on the point of the intercoastal Dunfermline Bay. Geographically, one of the focal points of the Bay Area. This iconic building, visible for miles around, has had an increasing number of million-dollar-plus sales. Hidden Bay is known for their wonderful ocean, intercoastal, and skyline views. Their beautifully landscaped 1-acre private park and wraparound walking paths. Their modern interiors include recently redone designer lobbies. Units have floor-to-ceiling windows, multiple balconies, and semi-private living with only 1 to 3 units per floor. Amenities include valet parking, a yacht club marina, a spa and fitness center, swimming pools, tennis and pickleball courts, a library, and a game room. The architect Seeger Suarez also designed Hidden Bay's sister building, the Portofino Tower in South Beach. And more recently, the architects have made a splash with the Porsche Design Tower, the upcoming Bentley Residences, and Miami's Waldorf Astoria. It's a pleasure to work with such a magnificent piece of architecture. Thank you for the opportunity. A deeper look at exterior paint color options is a beneficial investment. You're going to live with this decision for the next 7 to 9 years. Benjamin Moore will be supplying the paint for the Hidden Bay exterior paint project. All colors specified will be in the Benjamin Moore brand. Existing paint colors. In this section, it's my intention to specify new paint to match the existing paint colors. One might think this is an easy task, but upon closer inspection, Hidden Bay currently has a few different coral paint colors on the building. For example, the coral paint on the tower here is much lighter than the coral paint color used near the fountain behind the portico. I'm going to specify that we use only 1 coral color uniformly. Paint with red pigment is going to fade significantly over time. Sometimes touch-up paint can vary slightly. I will show all coral areas the same color on my final renderings. The Hidden Bay existing coral color is a custom paint color by Sherwin-Williams. It's painted on the wall in this photo at the entrance portico location. Here's the current Sherwin-Williams paint formula for the coral color. However, paint pigments or colorants are different brand to brand, and the paint itself, the bases, are also different brand to brand. Therefore, this Sherwin-Williams formula will not work with the Benjamin Moore paints. We have to select new colors from Benjamin Moore. This existing Sherwin-Williams color is very close to this Benjamin Moore color Farmer's Market. However, I prefer to go with the Savannah Clay since red fades over time. We've gone one step further and custom color matched your existing coral paint that's presently on the entrance portico. The custom formula is on file for you at your local Benjamin Moore store. The Hidden Bay existing cream color is also a Sherwin-Williams custom color. It's similar to Benjamin Moore's paint color, Gentle Cream. Again, this cream color has been custom color matched, and the exact formula is on file at your local Benjamin Moore store. Here they are together in the sun and together in the shade. In my opinion, any and all of these colors would be considered replacement colors to match the existing colors. In my opinion, none of these colors would require a voting consensus. Yes, the colors will look slightly different because the paint will be fresh and the colors will now be the same throughout Hidden Bay. I have 10 paint pattern improvements I want to address before we review final renderings. Number 1, the use of only 2 paint colors. As we just discussed, there's currently several shades of the same paint color on the building. Going forward, I recommend using only 2 exterior paint colors on the body of the building, 1 light and 1 medium. My final renderings will reflect this. Number 2, the windowsills. When I refer to the term windowsills, I'm speaking about the horizontal painted area here, the area between the rows of ribbon window panes. Hidden Bay consistently has the existing windowsills painted coral on each tower end, and cream windowsills in the vertical middle section. Here it is again, coral and cream. Except when you get to the front right side of the building, this section of windowsills has been painted cream. I can't think of any reason architecturally why this sudden change in the pattern of paint color would have been designed. It doesn't make any sense to me, so therefore I do not think it was deliberate. I believe this to be a mistake. I recommend this be changed or corrected going forward. I recommend this group of windowsills gets painted the same as the left side. In this case, with the existing colors, it would be changed to the coral color. My reasoning for this is because each tower is designed with symmetry and balance. There's also a repetition happening from Tower 1 to Tower 2 to Tower 3, establishing a pattern. There's no reason to make this section of windows different or distracting. My renderings will display this correction on the windowsills. Number 3, the blue roofs. Hidden Bay currently has 2 roof colors. Most of the tower tops have concrete roofs painted in a Sherwin-Williams dynamic blue. But these 2 other roofs, plus the library roof in the back, are made of a prefabricated, pre-painted metal, which is a darker blue color. I think it would be more consistent, ideally, to have all the roofs be the same color for a cohesive look. I do not recommend painting over the prefabricated metal roof color because the paint color will not wear. When it comes time to repaint the painted roofs, I recommend painting them all the same color as the metal roofs. Your existing metal roof on the entrance portico is very close to Benjamin Moore's color number 2062-30. Here is the Benjamin Moore paint chip color against your roof paint chip sample in both sunlight and shade. We've gone one step further and made a custom color match formula for Hidden Bay of the roof, which is even more of an exact blue color match. That formula is available to you at your local Benjamin Moore store. This is your existing roof color. The matching roofs will look like this. My renderings will show the roofs in this new color. Number 4, the roof walkways. Both the roof and the roof walkways are currently painted dynamic blue. This makes the roof appear larger. I like it. Keep it that way. 4 walkways were never painted. These 4 here on Tower 3. Going forward in the future, let's paint all the roof walkways blue to match the new roof color. This is how I will show it on my final renderings. Number 5, the rooftop wings. There's an area on the rooftop that I think looks better painted blue to match the blue roofs. It's this angled area here. I'm calling it the rooftop wings. Notice how the blue roofs are used to accent the top dome of the center vertical columns. It's like there's this little tiny house capping the top of the vertical element. Imagine the blue roof like a scrolled capital on the top of a beautiful vertical column. The blue needs to connect at this point. The blue is in relationship with the center vertical elements. It signifies you've now reached the top of the center vertical columns. Here's a rendering. The wings would look like this, painted blue on all tower rooftops. I'll show it this way in my finished renderings. This is my professional recommendation. Of course, Hidden Bay is not obligated to execute any of my design ideas. These small details may seem insignificant at first, but they are not insignificant visually. They add up. We want every detail of the building to communicate and support the design of the architecture for maximum impact. I don't see any of these ideas as my personal opinion. I think of it as speaking the visual language of design. If we observe the architecture, it will tell us what it wants. My objective is to look and listen to the building and interpret the architecture. Number 6, the tiny house color. I'm referring to these rooftop tiny houses on the east side of the building. Right now, they're painted cream on the sides and coral on the front. They need to be coral all the way around. It's good that they're painted coral in the front because they serve as a darker backdrop, adding contrast and accentuating the geometric dome shape in front of them. That's what we want to do, accent the vertical geometric dome shape in the front. The dome roof and the A-frame roof are opposite shapes on purpose, and they need to contrast one another. Imagine the tall vertical columns three-dimensionally up against the tiny house. All sides of the tiny house need to match, so the tiny house can fully take a 3D shape and look whole, not cream. Include the base as well. The side view of the tiny houses of Tower 1 and Tower 2 are not highly visible in this photograph, but all 3 tiny houses look best painted all the same color all the way around. My final renderings will show the tiny houses painted uniformly. Number 7, the roof window openings. Bear with me, I know this is a lot of little detail, but you're going to like the end result. We really need to clean up these fragmented painted pieces of architecture. You'll notice at the top of Tower 3, there are 3 black windows. It appears as if the same 3 windows used to exist on Tower 2, but possibly were blocked in, and also on Tower 1. I don't know the reason for this change, but it's affecting the look of the towers. Hidden Bay looks better with the windows accentuating the top of the towers. The vertical lines created by the architecture of the building are visually powerful. They lead your eye right up to the top of the building. Those windows are like an exclamation point at the end of a sentence, punctuating the final word, leaving the viewer with a speechless wow ... Plus, there's a visual pattern or repetition with the windows building to building. They all work together as a group, like the tempo or the beat of a beautiful waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the repetition gets louder or crescendos as the building gets taller. You get the idea. But we don't have to necessarily replace all the windows. We could get a similar effect by painting on fake windows in black so all 3 towers match visually. They were designed to repeat, and when they don't, it's distracting to me instead of accenting. My renderings will display this addition of the black window openings on all 3 towers. My first choice would be to make all 3 tiny house black windows consistent on all sides. Whatever you do, do it consistently. Number 8, the tower roofs. If you think about it, the rooftop on Tower 1 is visible from inside Tower 2 and Tower 3. The roof on Tower 2 is also visible from inside Tower 3. Actually, all 3 roofs are visible, not just in this photo, but in other real estate drone photography. And possibly the roof of Tower 1 and Tower 2 are visible from neighboring condominiums that may be taller than Tower 1 and Tower 2. The rooftops are also seen from planes flying in and out of both Fort Lauderdale and Miami International airports. Basically, from the air, Hidden Bay is a landmark icon. Here's Hidden Bay with my current paint pattern suggestions. And then, with the coral color added, wrapping around on top of the roof. At this level of architecture, I feel as though there's enough visibility to consider adding color to all the roofs for a more cohesive, total, polished look. My final renderings will show all the rooftops painted. Number 9, the base of the blue wings. I'm referring to these side walls here. I'm calling them the wing bases. Should these walls be cream, such as this, or should they be coral, like this? I see them as extensions coming off the center vertical columns, just like the blue roof wing extensions, and therefore cream. But let's make the dividing walls between the penthouse balconies on the east side the coral color. They're in relation to the tiny houses. And finally, number 10, the top of the portico. One could argue the top of the portico is not visible from the ground and therefore not worthy of attention. However, the entrance roof, the portico roof, is gazed down upon by every single west-facing condo resident. I would say the entrance or the circulation path into the building is a dominant focal point, shared by everyone in the building architecturally. In my opinion, the existing gray roof as a focal point looks a little unfinished. I think it's worthy of attention. I think it would look much dressier, clean, and finished, painted in a color. This would give the entrance an updated, fresh new look, and I'll show the portico rooftop painted in my renderings. And now for color options. Renderings are a tool intended to be used as a general visual guide. Colors look different in different lighting. We all have different computer calibrations and different eyesight. You'll have success if you use the renderings to visualize the overall general color concepts without getting into tiny color discrepancies. My advice when reviewing colored renderings is to stay general and digest the overall color concept. Keep in mind all my renderings will show only 2 paint colors on the body of the building, window sills painted uniformly, blue roofs painted uniformly, blue roof walkways painted uniformly, extended blue paint on the blue roof wings, tiny houses painted uniformly, additional fake black windows on the tiny houses, color on top of the rooftops, light color on the wing wall bases, and color on the top of the portico. That's a long list. I highly recommend all these paint pattern adjustments going forward, no matter what paint color choices are decided. Here are the existing Hidden Bay paint colors. I've added the Sherwin-Williams paint chip swatches on the left as a reference. Here's what Hidden Bay will look like if you're going for the Benjamin Moore exact custom color match. And also make all 10 of my recommended paint pattern suggestions. It's your existing color scheme cleaned up. Here's Hidden Bay if you use color 047 as I suggested from the beginning of the video under existing colors for coral. The cream color is a bit more beige with a hint of gray. You can see the comparison on the screen compared to your original color. It's very similar. I think this would freshen up the current cream that has gotten dirty and faded over time. At the same time, be more on trend. As you can see, these colors are designed to maintain the existing color combination while unifying the current various shades on the building. In my opinion, a voting consensus would not be needed for these colors. The overall look is ever so slightly darker to add back in the original color saturation that's faded. This is an attempt to match the original look when the building was painted fresh years ago. This is what I recommend. Option 1. I've added an aqua paint chip at the bottom. However, it's not a paint color. I'm using it as a reference to the green glass color that is significant on the building. Since some of the existing windowsills are currently cream instead of coral, I imagine the board could also propose all cream sills, option 2, without needing a community vote. Here's the same color scheme, but with the aqua paint color on the roof instead of coral. It's an option, very nice, option 3. I'm not sure if this would be misconstrued as a material color change because the roof has never been painted and it's not visible from the street. The board will have to decide. And as a bonus, here's option 4. The aqua color used on the roof, the windowsills, and the portico. This opens up the glass area and ties the 3 areas together with repetition. Beautiful. These are considered minute changes. You would be shocked. Most people do not even notice major color changes. Think about it. Had you noticed the windowsill color mistake mentioned in paint pattern improvements? Most people rush in and out of the building without looking up or paying attention to the paint. Now I'm going to take the time to entertain several paint color ideas so we can all together discover visually why some of them just do not work on Hidden Bay and eliminate them from consideration. Let's exhaust some of these possibilities so we can all get on the same page. The color gray is trending right now. However, I don't like it on your building. Here's why. Hopefully you can see it's too blah. it looks a little dead. I love that your building currently stands out and looks different because of color. That is what the architect intended. The building does not want to look like every other building on Dumbfoundling Bay. Yes, all gray and white can be very sophisticated. However, design-wise, visually, using only one single color on the body of the building draws attention to the overall shape. We don't want to do that. All I notice here are the blue roofs, and that's mostly from the air. We clearly want to emphasize the center vertical columns on the face of the building. The front face, everyone sees. These things. So Hidden Bay needs two contrasting colors, so these center vertical columns stand out. This gray rendering is in desperate need of another color. Overall, these colors are too cool toned. It needs warmth. Look at your pavers, walkways, landscaping, warm. This gray looks a little cool toned with your pavers. It's absolutely necessary to coordinate the building's exterior paint colors with its surrounding colors. Here are the colors of your existing pavers up close. Yes, the pavers have a lot of gray in them, but since the pavers have undertones of warm brown, tan, rose, and orange, the coral gives life to these undertones. In the end, the gray does not punctuate the architecture. It's all too much the same thing. As you can see, all gray does not look better compared to what I'm recommending, option 1. Here's Hidden Bay in Benjamin Moore's OC53. This color is similar to your existing metal white window mullions that will not be painted. Here's a photo of Benjamin Moore's OC53. OC stands for Benjamin Moore's off-white color deck. The building in the background, it's not yours, but it's an example of this color. The all-white building looks okay. However, it does have some of the same problems as the all-gray building. On the pro side, the all-white is better than the all-gray because it's lighter and it creates more contrast to the green window panes. It's not as blah as the gray because this off-white is lighter than the current cream. It's timeless. It goes better with the pavers than the all-gray. But on the con side, it doesn't have any warmth. It's very cold. I like plainness and simplicity, but it's a little too plain. The focus becomes the blue roofs again, which are not highly visible from the ground. The center vertical columns lose their emphasis. The emphasis becomes the overall shape of the building. The neo-Art Deco style of the building loses its strong geometric shapes, and any ornamentation gets washed out. And Hidden Bay becomes less distinguished or more like any other condo on Dumbfoundling Bay. I think it's okay, but I think there are more cons than there are pros. Let's keep comparing to our best options so far. And for those of you thinking both gray and white together, the gray is going to have to be significantly darker than the white for contrast. Yes, the vertical center columns are now emphasized again, but well, this is too dark, too cool, and still too dead for me. Even the green, it's not enough to make it look better because it just does not harmonize or balance with the surrounding colors. White with gray. Well, it doesn't work for me because the center columns are more now invisible, in addition to looking drab. Hidden Bay, I think options 1, 2, 3, and 4 all look better than gray, white, or white and gray. And finally, for those of you who want anything but pink, or if your community is ready to vote for change, maybe not now, but sometime in the future, I have 3 alternatives. A vote for change option 1. I would recommend this. Still very similar, not too different. The body of the coral color has been toned down. It's not so bright. By reducing the coral color saturation, we stay on trend with a warmer, more tan coral. The coral coordinates beautifully with your pavers down below and landscaping. Look at that. Very natural looking together. The pavers are natural clay and the building is natural. Very timeless. The cream has been changed to a beige with a touch of gray. This color was chosen purposefully because it matches the Hidden Bay already existing white metal mullion frames for a cohesive look. And finally, the aqua sills give it a whole new open look, designed to match your existing glass window panes. More invisible looking, the window sills have been painted aqua to reduce the visual noise of the sills, repeating the glass pane color, the roof color, and the portico color, tying them all together. Notice 2 colors on the body of the building. The center white vertical columns are the main emphasis, visible from the ground. Beautiful, dramatic, leads your eye right up to the top. Now the blue roofs have something to accent. And the aqua rooftops look very natural because they're secondary to this darker color. They blend in. The aqua finishes off the roof color for a polished look from all views. Here's Hidden Bay with the coral windowsills. Beautiful, more traditional, similar to what you have now. Here's Hidden Bay with the beige with a hint of gray windowsills as opposed to the coral. It's a little busy for me, but all 3 work well. When you get the pattern and the contrast correct, there are several colors that can work. I would not propose any option that did not work visually. Still absolutely striking because the bones of the architecture are amazing. Good day, Hidden Bay. Rest assured you have a beautiful condo, and any one of these recommended options will be a winning color combination. Good luck and have a colorful day.